we are entering a period of time where people need to realize that holding dollars, holding bonds entirely, being fully invested in US-based assets is the key to becoming insolvent. If you are not a contrarian, you're going to go broke. If you hold everything in dollars, you are destined to go broke based upon...
Hold on to your seats as Andy Schectman takes you on an exhilarating ride through the often overlooked world of real assets. In this video, discover why timing is everything and why understanding these investments sooner rather than later could be your golden ticket to financial security. Don't blink, or you might miss out on a pivotal piece of your investment puzzle.
Securing wealth is through precious metals. And I say it that way because I don't look at gold and silver as an investment, Robert. I never have. I look at it as wealth, wealth that has outlived 2 world wars, German hyperinflation, the Great Depression, every pandemic, and is still immutable wealth that truly I hope I never need to use. And if I do, I'm darn glad I have it, whether it be for an emergency, as most people think about owning gold and silver for, or perhaps an opportunity. I think maybe you would look at when the dust settles, there will be opportunities. Maybe it's stocks selling at single-digit price to earnings ratios, paying a 7% dividend. Maybe it's that real estate that we've always wanted that's selling for pennies on the dollar. Whatever it is, I know it's there if I need it, and if not, I pass it on to my children. And I feel comfortable in creating and leaving a legacy for my family that I know that long after the dollar bills in our wallet are hanging from a frame in the Smithsonian, that gold and silver will still be immutable wealth. Really know if people understand the significance of it. And it's something that I have harped on for decades now, and that is simply that gold is universal, silver is universal. It doesn't have to be, there can be a language barrier. Gold will break through the language barrier. Gold and silver is wealth. It's not an investment, at least it's not to me. And I think that's the best way to look at it. And I think the people going all the way back to the beginning of time who had wealth, kings and queens and pharaohs and emperors and you name it. I mean, they didn't buy gold from their gold dealer. They owned it as a form of immutable wealth that is able to be passed on throughout the centuries. And that is how I look at it. And I think to this day, the wealthiest people and the wealthiest central banks and the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world understand that is the role of gold and silver. And as Dr. Franz Pick once said, all paper currencies are all fiat currencies. It's the same reason so few people are ever successful in investing, Robert. They wait until it's been validated by price, and I think the only way to truly succeed is to buy when the price is low. And what's most intriguing about silver is that its fundamentals couldn't be stronger. If people were to look under the hood instead of just looking at the price and realize that this is a commodity that has duality in demand, both industrial and monetary. This is a commodity that's coming out of the ground at a ratio to gold of 7 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold, yet is priced at 90 to 1. This is an asset that is depleting in nature because for 5,000 years, its ratio was 16 to 1 to gold. Now it's 7 to 1. In every respect, it's the most undervalued commodity and or investment. Well, of course, in the green and digital world, anything that conducts electricity or electronic solar panels, battery-powered vehicles, iPhones, iPads, flat-screen TVs, just about anything that conducts electricity has a modicum of silver in it. And so whether you're talking a simple light switch to a motherboard that has 1/5 of an ounce of silver in it to run a computer, it all has silver in it. And to your point, because it's used in such tiny amounts, most of it isn't recycled. Even the gold that is used in industrial applications, it's so valuable, it makes sense to recycle it. And so you could argue that all of the silver that has been used in industry in the last 80 years, the majority of it is in landfills somewhere. And so it's an asset that is depleting in nature. And so it represents a very unusual situation. And really the truth of it is that you have a handful of commercial banks on the commodity exchanges that are suppressing the price. when you talk about what's happening in terms of retail demand, at the same time, to me, what is really different is that you have a whole world that is awash in inflation and anxiety of war and geopolitical issues. And, as you said earlier, in the last 4 years, the US has printed more money than in the history of the country before it. But I haven't seen this event coming, where there is a realization, an awakening by the public that, my gosh, it's time to think outside the box, to start thinking in a way that your rich father taught you to think, not so much by the book, but outside the box, and think about money differently. We are entering a period of time where people need to realize that holding dollars, holding bonds entirely, being fully invested in US-based assets is the key to becoming insolvent. If you are not a contrarian, you're going to go broke. If you hold everything in dollars, you are destined to go broke based upon the macro trends that are happening, whether it be by the hand of our Federal Reserve, who, if they continue to raise rates, will blow everything up. If they pivot and start to print money again, they will signal hyperinflation. There's going to be a moment where the rubber has to meet the road. We have lived long past our right to, I believe, control the world reserve currency based upon the mismanagement of it. And the rest of the world, I think, is fed up. So this is why you need to be a contrarian. This is why you need to mitigate your exposure to the dollar right now. The rest of the world is doing it.
Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through the world of real assets with Andy Schectman. We hope this discussion has sparked new perspectives and insights into your investment approach. Subscribe to stay updated. Hit the super like button if you enjoyed it. Remember, the power of knowledge lies in its timely application. Take these learnings and chart a path toward a more secure financial future. Stay tuned for more valuable discussions. And remember, your wealth is waiting for your informed decisions. Until next time, invest wisely and thrive. Thank you.